Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right. I think we're live. Yeah, we're live. Look at that. All right. What's up, everybody? This is the Spud Club. Couldn't tell you what episode. All I know is June 2024, right? Is June? Yeah.
Yep.
No idea. Dave wanted to have a podcast, but Dave didn't make it.
It is not.
I don't know why he's not here. I'm a little upset. You know, it might be early in the world where he's at, but this was his whole idea. And we delayed a day just for him, but that's okay. I'm here now with Mikey. Y'all know Mikey. So, if any of the other Spud Club guys want to hop on later on, by all means, hop in. I don't even have the group chat up or nothing. I am so out of it right now. A lot's been going on in my life, which I'm not going to get into, but yeah, it's tough. Times have been tough, but we're going to start talking about video games. So, yo, Zio's here. All right, I lied. I was putting up the stream. What up, Zio? Yeah, Mikey, you want to talk about games? Like, I figured we'd talk about the three different big companies: Microsoft, Nintendo, and then Sony, and the different games coming out, like what we're excited for and whatnot. But yeah, as always, do you want to start with what we've been playing?
Yeah. So funny enough, I don't know why, but I wanted to start playing Doom again, and this is before the announcements.
No shit.
Yeah. So I was finishing up. I played through Doom 2016. Just got a random desire to play. I think it was honestly the music, and you know me with music.
For sure.
I'm a big fanatic of all the game music and stuff, but both of those games, all the modern Doom games, their music is phenomenal. But yeah, so I started playing that, finished that one, started on Doom Eternal, and then of course the trailer dropped for the new Doom, the Dark Age. And I was funny about that because I remember seeing like on just miscellaneous posts that there was like a rumored new Doom game, and I was like, oh, I didn't really pay much attention to it, just trolls and everything else. Well, so sure enough, the trailer dropped, and I was like, oh, that was like a legit thing. So yeah, anyway. So I'm playing Doom Eternal, kind of going through that again. I've kind of been going back to been trying to get a platinum on the Sea of Star games, or Sea of Stars game, and yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been playing right now.
Hell yeah. Have you heard about the Mitch Gordon crap going on? Or I guess it's way over now, but during the making of Doom Eternal, they I guess they didn't pay him correctly or something about some of the time he had put into the music in the game. And honestly, like you said, getting back into Doom, it's really the music was made that game. He didn't do the DLC for Doom Eternal because
you definitely, because I'm actually on the DLC now, and you can definitely tell.
Yeah.
They try to. I believe they try to keep the same style.
Yeah.
And so it's funny because I was watching like a 30-minute video on that because I had kind of seen the drama, if you will.
Yeah.
About that, and so anyway, I just finished a 30-minute video today, and yeah, so they. In a nutshell, if somebody doesn't know, he was being given deadlines, and it was like ridiculous deadlines. He wasn't getting paid because he was kind of working as a contractor for Doom Eternal. He wasn't actually part of the development team. He was just being contracted to compose the music, and so he had done all the music. Well, then when he had sent like all of his samples and mixes and all that stuff, the sound designer, Chad something, he was like, hey, I don't like this. And so they told him that they didn't like a lot of his music. And then what they ended up doing was using that music, but then not paying him for it. So it was like a whole thing. And he ended up coming out on there and was like, because a lot of people were kind of pissed, like, oh, he messed up the soundtrack and it's his fault and blah, blah. And then he released a statement pretty much like, in a nutshell, it was like, I didn't quit Doom. I quit a bad customer or a bad boss, something to that effect.
Right.
And so yeah, after knowing everything, like you can like that's a very accurate statement, a very good summation of everything. So yeah, but what they do with this next game, I highly doubt that they'll do anything with him, and it's kind of sad if that is the case.
Yeah.
But from the trailer, it seemed like, you know, the music will be good. But that's one of those things. Like, I'm the type of person, and I'm not alone because there's obviously playlists of like the original soundtrack. You ever seen those on YouTube?
Oh yeah, I listen to Doom Music Live almost daily.
Oh, okay. Well, then you proved me wrong. But well, yeah. So I'm one of those people too, and I'm like, dude, you know, that's kind of like what pulled me back into playing through it again, because I'm like, man, I really wouldn't mind jamming to this and, you know, killing demons.
Hell yeah, dude. The music, honestly, the music makes that game. But I watched another video on YouTube that talked about the Doom music, not Mitch Gordon's the problem with him and Bethesda or id Software, but the music and what it's turned into. They've turned the Doom music into its own genre called Argent music. Yep. I've been listening to some Argent playlist on what is not Pandora, Amazon Music for my workouts. Okay. Most of it's okay, but there's some hit and miss on there.
We must have watched the same video, because
probably
I heard the same thing.
Dude,
that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for the next game.
I'm pumped. What was it? Doom Dark Ages? I mean, we can get into that later, but all right, you've been playing Doom and what was it? Star Ocean, you said?
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. That was close.
I remember when we talked about. Do you remember me bringing up the Messenger? This was like a year of podcasts ago.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned, you're like, oh, doesn't that turn into like a 16-bit game? And I was like, no, because I wasn't that far into the game yet. And then of course, when I finally got into the part where it turns into a 16-bit game, I was like, oh, this is what he was talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I hadn't watched the trailers.
Yeah.
I strictly was going off of a buddy's recommendation. And so anyway, played that. I was kind of go back on Sea of Stars, because when I first played that late last year, there was a glitch. There's a trophy on there that you have to play through the game a second time. Not the entire game, but about halfway through. And there was a glitch to where it wouldn't let me progress past a certain spot. And so I was like, dude, this sucks, you know. So I ended up putting it down, and I'm on a work trip right now, so I was like, you know what, let me try, and maybe they updated it or something. So I tried it again, and sure enough, it actually let me progress.
Nice.
So I'm probably about 2 in-game hours away from getting the platinum. I've kind of been mainly Doom, but going back and forth. So.
Okay. Dude, I don't know where you find the time. I have like no time in the game, but
I'm by myself in a hotel, so this is the
okay. Oh shit, bro. Oh yeah, I can't really say where you're at or what you're doing without giving some stuff away. But when I did what you were doing in a hotel, Grand Theft Auto 5 came out on 360, and I had a ton of time to dump into that game. So that tells you how long ago I was doing what you did. And that game is still out. I'm still watching. What was it? A new Rob? I don't know. Whatever. Online's still going, but all right. Stuff I've been playing. Shit, what haven't I been playing? X Defiant. I don't know if you guys have been jumping on here, going on, watching me play on Twitch, but I will play X Defiant in the background. I play the Doom music radio on YouTube. So I do that on Twitch. So if I get demonetized there, or if I get kicked off there by copyright, I don't give a shit. But I won't do that here on YouTube, because I kind of care about YouTube a little bit. So X Defiant, if you guys ever want to hop in with me, it's a free-to-play game. No skill-based matchmaking, so it's actually a lot of fun. You have to get good, and they're not going to give you an easy one, and they're not going to destroy you after you've been good. So it feels like I'm in college again, you know, playing COD 4. Awesome game. Check it out. Free to play. And when I'm not playing that, I did a little bit of Animal Well, and I streamed that. I did like 30 minutes one night to try it out. And the way my house is set up is I have my Switch in my living room for my son to play, for Todd to play. And if I want to bring it and play and stream it, I have to bring the dock and everything, and it's wall mounted, so I gotta. It's a whole pain in the ass, and I'm too stubborn to buy another dock. So I haven't played that anymore. But Animal Well is pretty good. I got a little bit on there. What else have I been playing? I was playing Donkey Kong Country Returns, which is kind of funny. They just announced that on Switch, but I was playing it on Wii. I was on a work trip and I played that for a little bit.
I've got my own thoughts about that. We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah, we'll get into that later here. Man, what else have I been on? What's on my computer? Oh, Helldivers.
Oh, yeah.
That game's fun. Only reason I kind of slow down on that is I like playing with other people, and there's some people that
Like playing with you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's hard to get, like, when you're an adult and you got kids, man, you know how hard it is to get shit done, like, and jump on. Yeah. Also, at the same time, that's a PC game, or for me, I play on PC because I don't have a PS5, because, again, too stubborn to buy one. I can't stream at the same time and play it because I'll melt my computer, and I don't really want to do that. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to figure out what graphics card and settings I need to put it at, so it is what it is. But
you call Salts, dude.
Yeah, well, Salt's built my computer. So
the original one, right?
No, the one I'm on right now, my desktop. He helped me buy my laptop that I melted. But I called him up, man, this must have been 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I was like, hey man, if I send you my credit card number, can you build me a computer? And he said, well, yeah, how much? And I told him try to stay around 1,000, and he said, okay. And then he goes, well, I can get it done for you for 1,200. How's that? I was like, let's do it. So he built me a computer, and he built it and then sent it to me, and yeah, it's great. But it won't run Helldivers in stream at the same time. I don't know if I have the right processing on it, but mainly what I'm trying to do anyways is play retro games and stream it, or play off my Xbox, and that way it's almost like a dual PC stream system. Anyways, what else? Shit, I haven't really been playing Zelda. I got really far into Majora's Mask, but
did we ever talk about? I know you haven't talked about that with me. Did you ever talk about that with Dave?
I'm waiting for all three of us to get on.
Okay. Dang it, Dave. Come on.
But I put a valiant effort into that game, and I don't want to talk about how I handled it because I am not proud of myself. But I'm moving on, and I've been trying to get on and play Twilight Princess. And I haven't found the time, man. Like, I need like 3 hours where I can just set aside and be like, this is my time to game. And with the kids out of school, can't do that. Mm-hmm. I'm on vacation now, but I'm working nonstop around the house, and any minute I have, I spend with the kids.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's one of those games to where you can't just sit down and play for an hour and be satisfied, because there's always like the little carrot. Like the carrot on the stick that's like, oh man, what's over here, or what's next, or you know what I mean? So you can't just sit down and play for like 1 hour. You gotta play for multiple. So yeah, I get it. I totally get it.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, for sure. Any of those Zelda games, I can't just sit down and play 10, 15 minutes. Like, it's kind of why I'm attracted to X Defiant. I can do like 10-minute session and be like, all right, cool, there's a match. And then I need something to do something, I get up and walk away. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like the other night, I streamed 30 minutes of X-Defiant, and I was like, you know what? I need to go to bed. And I turned everything off and went to bed. So, or maybe I didn't even stream that night. I don't even remember. But that's the main games I've been playing, other than like with Todd. I bought the Rocket Knight Adventures on Switch. And honestly, it didn't click with me. Bro, I've been buying games on Switch lately, like... I need to stop because I know I'll never play them.
You own stock in Nintendo now?
Yeah, basically. But the thing is, I'm not buying physical. They're all digital shit. Really for Todd to play.
What was it called again? Rocket what?
Rocket Knight Adventure. It was a SNES game and Sega game, I guess, because they have 3 different versions on there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember the cover. I don't think I've ever played this, but I do remember the cover of this.
The Retro Bird loves it, right? That's like his favorite game of all time. I don't know if you watch his channel, but
not yet. But yeah, I'll have to give me.
He's a pretty funny guy, And so I was like, you know what? Let me try Rocket Knight Adventure. And I put 5 minutes into it because Todd was watching me. He goes, Daddy, can I play? Can I play? Can I play? And I just gave him, here you go, kid. If you're not going to shut up and let me play, that's another thing. I could never play a game around my kid because he always wants the damn controller. So fine. I'll go away.
See, my kids are the opposite, where they just do not, because unless it's like where they have super kid friendly barriers, like the newest Mario Kart 8, I think, where it pretty much drives itself.
Yep.
It'll pretty much lane assist, and it's almost impossible for you to fall off the track.
Yep.
You know, unless it's like something like super protected, they don't want to play it because it's complex for them. And I'm like, really? Because I was like, when I was your age, I was like into this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I would play because I'd want to get past the level. They're which I'm not saying is a bad thing. They're just not like that.
Yeah, and Todd was like that too, and I taught him how to do all those things. I don't know, you watched the video I put out about easiest games for kids enjoying Switch.
Oh yeah.
And I've kind of taken his training wheels off, and he's getting better. He's not great, but he's getting better. You know, he'll play, and I'll actually have to kind of try a little bit to beat him, but I still let him win. But
is he 4 or 5 now?
He's 5. He'll be 6 here in December. But hey, remember that time we were in New Mexico and we were playing Mario Kart with you, me, and Dave, and right before we'd start, we'd put on the assist, and then Dave didn't know why we were kicking his ass until like the third race. He's like, "Hey guys, come on now!" And he caught on.
My controller's not working.
That was so much fun.
Oh, dude, Smash Mountain, man. That was
bro. Smash Mountain. Yeah, that was right when Smash came out. Let's go Smash, guys.
John was. Oh, we should have made a shirt, dude. That would have been hilarious.
God damn, that was so good.
Even Joan was wanting to smash too.
Yeah, John would like look over my shoulder while we were smashing, and we give him a controller. Bro.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh,
man.
That's something else I've been playing is Apex. I got real heavy back in the Apex for about a week when the new season dropped. I even bought the battle pass, and then I put it down. Right when
I did the same thing with Call of Duty.
Bro.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I want to talk like we can talk about Call of Duty, but honestly, I haven't really looked into it yet. But once we get into the Xbox crap, but like shit, you want to get into that now, or anything else you want to touch before we move into the 3 different shows?
Yeah, we can just go straight into it.
Oh, hold on, let me read some comments here. Okay. Angry straight white male. We already talked about Sea of Stars, but we're going to move past that. Lane assist in Mario Kart is for people with disabilities. Well, being 5 years old, you're kind of disabled. He also says, I assume it's a he, since he says he's an angry straight white male. You know, maybe he's a black lesbian. That'd be funny. My sister-in-law can't use her hands very well, and she uses it to help her play. That's awesome, man. That is something that Microsoft does really well too, is help disabilities, where people with disabilities play video games. I think that's really cool. Way. Yeah, and thanks for those comments, man. I know you're not a black lesbian. I'm just having fun. But shit, if you are, that's a funny ass name. That's a good one, man. Anyways, all right, what company you want to talk about first?
We can just go straight into Xbox, since it's kind of like our
you want to start with the best one? We can do that. All right, so first up, Mikey, have you played any Gears of War?
No. I've always seen them, and they looked really fun. It's one of those games where I'm like, man, I wish.
Okay. This is
hesitant.
No. This is what you're doing tomorrow. I don't give a F about your graduation. You're gonna do it. Okay. You're gonna go to a GameStop. I don't like GameStop, but I know there's one down there. And you're gonna buy an Xbox One. It doesn't need to be any fancy. The bare basic Xbox One will run all the games. And you're gonna start with Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It doesn't have to be the original Gears of War. It's not as senior. Anyways, you gotta play it. You gotta do 1, 2, 3. You can skip 4 and 5. You can skip Judgment too. It's another game I played recently. It was Gears Judgment. I played like an hour of it. But you gotta play Gears 1, 2, and 3. That's all you got to play, and I guarantee you'll be hooked. Like,
Okay.
did you watch the new trailer for the latest Gears?
That one, I just because I never played any of them, I was like, I'm just gonna avoid it because I'm not gonna know what's going on anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's a prequel. It showed Marcus and Dom and one of the bad guys there, right? What's that?
Yeah, I did see that part that it was a prequel.
Yeah, and I think it's great because 4 and 5 kind of pushed it past story limits, I guess, to what it had, and I was losing. I was losing it on there, and I didn't really like the open world kind of concept that went with 5. I know you haven't played it, so I'm just kind of talking to the audience now, and mainly Dave, because I know he's going to listen to this when he wakes his ass up. And yeah. Anyways, this is kind of like the time he didn't show up to help me move. And I still haven't forgot.
Some wounds never heal.
Bro, I'm never going to forget it. Anyways, so yeah, Gears 5 kind of went open world, kind of. Not really. I don't know how to. It definitely wasn't like Breath of the Wild open world, but they tried to go open world and it didn't really work. It was more like Halo's open world, Halo Infinite opens world. I'm sure you didn't play that either, but anyways,
no.
Gears E-Day.
Yeah.
I am so looking forward to Gears E-Day. Like, I'm gonna replay them all again. Although I recently replayed them all. Fuck, I still gotta get through the Zeldas. I need to quit my job, bro. That's it. I need to quit my job, lock myself in my office, and play. But hang on, I think I got another comment here from angry straight white male. Here we go. I'm sorry, I gotta read this comment. I'm so disappointed in my daughter. She uses the disability settings for Fortnite to win. I didn't know that was a thing, so I'm definitely going to do that with my son. They have a setting for deaf people, and it shows where gunshots or footsteps are. She turns on that. To get an funny edge and know where the enemies are so they can't sneak up on you. So disappointed. Honestly, bro, I don't know if I'd be disappointed in that. Okay, yeah, I'd be a little disappointed in that, but I didn't know that was a thing. So my son Todd's been getting into Fortnite a little bit, mainly the racing, but I'll get into that. But
I did see the whole Metallica mashup.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm sick of Metallica. I'm sorry. I was tired of them in 2000. But anyways, all right. So we were talking about E-Day. Yeah, Gears E-Day. That's number one. That's for me the biggest thing I'm anticipating. Like 1000%. I got to get back to Gears, and I will play it on here, and I'll probably actually play a full game of that. I probably won't put it down, but anything else on the Xbox you want to talk about?
I mean, yeah, there's obviously the Doom. There's something else though. Something else that I saw.
Let's talk about the Doom, because there's some things in there I didn't discuss. The creativity right now for Doom, I don't know if the soundtrack's gonna be good, like the music. I'm sure the gun noises are gonna hit. But did you see that gun that like grinds up skulls and shoots like bone fragments?
Yeah, dude, that was cool,
bro. Like the creativity's insane. Like that to me is really cool. And what else haven't we seen? Like it's just, I heard they're kind of getting away from the Doom Eternal mechanics. I kind of thought there was too much there. I didn't love it. The 2016 I thought was perfect. So
was it very like, in your opinion, was it very was there a lot going on?
Yeah, it was too much. Okay. Like I would forget I had a fire over my shoulder, and then I had ice on the other shoulder, and then the little missiles, and then every gun had different contraptions, and it was just so much. It was too much for me. So
have you ever checked out there's like gameplay of people, well they're specifically on PC, but dude, so there's, and I forgot they did tutorials on like how to effectively damage demons very, very quickly.
Yeah.
But there's a thing to where you switch very quickly to your other weapon, and it kind of saves you time on like the reload animation.
Okay, so it's kind of like a slide cancel in COD.
Yeah. So say you have your shotgun, you shoot your shotgun, and then instead of waiting for that reload animation, you switch to like a rocket launcher, and then you immediately shoot that, and then you switch right back to your shotgun,
Yeah.
and you just keep going back and forth. And dude, you can put 5 shots on a single enemy within a matter of a few seconds. And so I was watching that, and I was like, huh, you know, and this is more so, I think this is more so when the DLC was coming out. I saw that, I started doing that, even though they said that in the tutorial, but I kind of forgot about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it helped my gameplay tremendously.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But I do agree. There is a lot going on, and so for the new one, I don't think it'll be as, maybe I could be wrong. Doesn't seem like it'll be as fast paced, or they could keep the fast paced the same.
Yeah.
And just change like the dash mechanics, or
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really curious what they do.
So I think what they're doing, I could be completely wrong, but I think they pulled out, or they took away the grappling hook from the shotgun. Okay. And I think they're going back to the basics to make it feel more like the 2016 Doom. Yeah. I could be wrong, but they did add parrying, because they showed parrying with the shield, which, okay, that's cool. I know how to parry. Like every other game I play as a parry. So yeah, so Doom, I'm looking forward to it. I'm concerned and wary about the soundtrack, but looking forward to it nonetheless.
Yeah, it's really cool, because if you watch a few, I think it was like the Xbox developer panel or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Hugo Martin, the
id Software CEO or something.
Yeah, he kind of goes into like what the story is and like why they went in that direction. And he was like, so if you read the end game, the codex from 2016 and Doom Eternal, there is a lot of that story is pulled. A lot of the new story from the Dark Ages is going to be stories from those codexes. So you're pretty much going to be living out or playing out those codexes that you've been reading on. And so to me, it's funny, because now that I'm reading those codexes and kind of seeing the trailer, I'm like, oh, I can see where it's kind of going to go. And there's a few, there's going to be like twists and turns. And who knows, they may kind of jump back and forth between the different timeline, or unless they strictly stay the Dark Ages, quote unquote,
Yeah.
So it'll be cool. I'm excited for that one.
That'll be a good one.
And especially the variations of the demons too. That's because that was pretty cool to see. Like very they're not as like cybernetic. If that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
They're more like retro or whatever. But.
Yeah, it'll be a good shift of gears, I think.
Yeah. So.
All right. What else from Xbox you want to talk about?
I'm trying to see. So, I mean, obviously there's Black Ops, which I guess that's kind of what got us onto the Xbox thing. Did you want to talk about that?
Sure. Go ahead. I didn't watch anything about it.
Well, of course, dude, as much as I've been so hesitant with the Call of Duties, like I ended up pre-ordering Modern Warfare 3. And it wasn't bad. I played a lot of it the first month that it came out, which I think was a lot of people's case. And then I put it down. Like I picked something else up, and I was like, I just don't feel like playing Call of Duty right now.
Right.
And I was playing the zombies portion of it. It was not a big. It held my attention a lot. It held it until it didn't. You know what I mean? And then after that, it was hard for it to grab my attention again, because I was like, man, I just, I'm not having as much fun, because there's a lot of like nuances that they could have tweaked. And so anyway, Black Ops 6, obviously they showed off like a new movement system, which looks pretty sweet. How it actually runs and feels, that's to be determined.
Yeah.
The story, did you play Cold War that much?
I did, but going back to the movement, I guess I did watch a little bit where they said you can run in a 360 direction. I'm concerned. I mean, honestly, I'm not concerned because I'm not going to play the game. I'll be real with you. I'm not paying $70 for the same thing again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I did play Cold War. That was probably the last one I really enjoyed. So.
Okay. Well, so did you play the campaign or was it strictly multiplayer?
No, I played the campaign and it was short, like 5 hours or something. And then multiplayer, I probably got about 20 hours into it.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, not that far, but not that much, I guess.
I bring up the campaign because it looks like they're kind of doing the past, I would say, besides Modern Warfare 2, the most recent Modern Warfare 2, honestly, Modern Warfare 2 was like the Modern Warfare 2 reboot has been the last game that they put like all their effort into, and it shows. It really shows, like between the cutscenes, the gameplay, the mechanics, the guns, everything. Like they put all their detail into that game. And I guess, I mean, maybe 2019 Modern Warfare, that's like the last time that was a really good Call of Duty. But it just like so Cold War. The story with Cold War, if people don't know why it kind of fell off the wagon or why the graphics looked downgraded, is they were running off of Black Ops 4 hardware or software, whatever it was. Which is fine. Black Ops 4 was in my opinion, a decent game. It wasn't the best game, but it was a decent game. And so they were running off of that software or hardware. Like I said, I can't remember what it is. Engine. That's the word I'm looking for. It was running off Black Ops 4 engine. And it was fine, but you can tell it was dated. The mechanics were fine, but you can tell they were dated. And so, anyway, with all that stuff set aside, the campaign was short. I don't want to say short and sweet, but it was good, but it was short. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Definitely.
And so, kind of what it seemed like they're doing with Black Ops 6 is that they're bringing back like the campaign. I'm hoping it's going to, you can just tell from a lot of the comments on a lot of those videos and stuff. Everyone's got the same opinion. Like, I hope the campaign is longer than 5 hours,
Yeah. And they have to, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they actually took 3 years to develop this game. So I guess I didn't really finish my tangent on Black Ops 4 or Cold War, but they ended up, that was supposed to be a Raven game or Sledgehammer game, whatever it was, and then Treyarch had to step in to finish that.
Yeah.
And so then what ended up happening with Vanguard was another, that was supposed to be a Treyarch game, but then Raven had to step in because they asked Treyarch to work on I want to say Zombies for Modern Warfare 3. And then even in the middle of Zombies Modern Warfare 3, they were pulled to finally put all their effort into now Black Ops 6. So, dude, the past 4 years of games for Call of Duty has been, the developing team has been like not half-staffed, but it's like they haven't had a concentrated effort on all these games. And it seems like Black Ops 6 will finally have a concentrated effort towards everything, maybe of everything. It's still to be determined, but it seems like campaign will have a concentrated effort, zombies and multiplayer. That to me anymore, multiplayer is like a bonus. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it always was back in the day, but then it blew up and that's all they cared about. So yeah, honestly, until they drop their skill-based matchmaking and get their shit together with actually having a good, compelling campaign, I'm kind of done with Call of Duty. Like, there's so many other shooters out right now, so I don't blame you. Like, Helldivers is there, right? They did everything right. Like there's almost nothing they did wrong, and if there's something that might be kind of wrong, they will straight up say, yeah, we're sorry, we're trying to fix it. Same thing with X Defiant. So it is an Ubisoft game, right? I'm not a fan of Ubisoft, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't seem like it, you know. Like I don't know. And it's yeah, but
I don't blame you.
Yeah. All right. What else do you want to talk about from the Xbox showcase?
Was it this showcase? No, I'm thinking of Nintendo. I think Nintendo showed the Prince of Persia remastered, right? It wasn't Xbox.
I don't remember. Talk about it, though. Sands of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was okay. I'm not really looking forward to it. I mean, kind of like I got 3/4 through the way through Sands of Time. Honestly, y'all gonna hate me, but I got bored of it. Like, it's the same thing over and over again. So, yeah.
Well, that's one of those games I actually haven't played. So, I'm kind of curious. You know, we'll kind of see what the reviews are and if they polished a lot of, you know, maybe they'll like remaster like some of the parts that you found dull. Maybe they'll remaster them or, you know, add more to it. You know,
it's just repetitive. That's all it is. Like, it's a really cool idea, really cool concept with the different puzzles and the what do you call it, parkour or whatever, climbing up on things. That part's really cool, but I got tired of the repetitive combat. And I know it came out in like 2001, 2002. I know, and I shouldn't be judging the game like that. And I know everybody loves it. I'll probably buy the Prince of Persia game, and I'll probably play through half of it and put it down. But I hope I don't upset anybody about my opinion. So,
no, it's your opinion. You can have it.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no. So I don't know, man. That's one of those games. I'm not gonna buy it right away. I know it's kind of. I don't want to say a cult classic, but it's one of those. What do they call those? With like a Nintendo Power, like a golden. You know what I'm talking about? Like they labeled the game like, hey, this is like a golden seal game because it's so good.
What do they call that? Players game or whatever. Player's choice.
Yeah, player's choice. Yep. And so, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I probably won't buy it right away, but I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, it's there, but I'm not really excited for it. But
yeah,
something else for Xbox I am excited for is the Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark game is looking awesome. I don't know, did you watch that trailer? I'm sorry.
That one I did not. Let's see. That's not a remaster, is it? That's a whole new game?
Yeah, so the agent Joanna Dark, she's coming back. I don't know if they're starting the whole thing over. I don't know what the timeline is, but they announced this game in like 2018, 2019, went through development hell, but they haven't said nothing until recently. And I think it was looking pretty good, you know. It's kind of starting to look like I don't know, it's supposed to be the spiritual successor to GoldenEye from 97, 98, which what Perfect Dark was, and it nailed it. I don't know if you ever played it back on the N64. And then Perfect Dark Zero on a 360 launch title, terrible. And then and then they're gonna bring it back, and I'm super pumped about that. So
that's cool, man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately that's the 64 is one of those consoles that we didn't have. We were from a Super Nintendo straight to PlayStation 1 because we were at the whim of whatever my dad bought me. So
yeah,
man, that's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I lost train of thought. My wife came in for a minute, but I don't remember anything else from Xbox. What was the first thing they showed? Fuck. What happens when you don't take notes? Gears was the last thing they showed? Or the first thing they showed? I don't remember.
Let me see. Look it up on YouTube.
Gotcha, but
Let's see.
Angry Straight White Male says Warrior Within. So I'm guessing he's talking about Prince of Persia Warrior Within. Because I bought all of them, but I just haven't played them.
From what I'm seeing on the actual presentation, it was actually Black Ops.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. I'm good.
Metal Gear Solid 3, the remaster. You never
was
played
that
any
Snake
of those
Eater?
games, right?
Say that again?
I was asking, you never played any of those games, right?
No, I played about 5 hours of Metal Gear Solid 5. Whatever that one was.
Okay.
I did not get it.
Yeah.
But that game's not for me, right? That's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one of those games where specifically the first one, I don't know about. So there's Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then there's Metal Gear Solid that came out on the PlayStation 1. And so I started with Metal Gear Solid 1 when we bought our PlayStation 1, and loved it, dude. Like, absolutely loved it. I had no idea what was going on because a lot of the ideas and the concepts of that game were way beyond my time. Like,
Right.
They were talking about governments and coups and, missile crises and all this other stuff. And I'm like, 5 or 6 years old playing this game. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but this is great.
Yeah. I don't get the story, but this is cool. Let me shoot this guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for sure.
It's always been like that. So it's one of those things, like, unless you watch like either a recap or you kind of know what's going on, it's going to be very hard to follow along.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool that they're remaking that. So Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of those. It's a prequel, and it was just there was a lot of cool concepts within that game. Do you know that? Have you seen any gameplay of that one or no?
I'm sorry. What was that? Have you seen Metal Gear Solid 3?
Yeah, like any gameplay of it.
Yeah. Yeah. The trailer and whatnot. It all looks the same to me. Like it looks like a sneaky, stealthy game, but then it gets incredibly Japanese for no reason. So I can't do it. Does that describe it though? Right?
Hideo Kojima, he's one of those dudes, man. He's way out there with a lot of his just look at the what was that one game? It's with Death Stranding. Stranding.
The post office, the delivery simulator. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, dude.
I got it for free off Epic Game Store, and I just got it to have it, I guess, but I didn't even install it. So I was like, I'm never gonna play this.
Yeah, I looked at the concept and I was like, oh, it's from Hideo Kojima. But dude, his ideas and his concepts that he comes up with, they're very out there. He is definitely one of a kind. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I'm glad he gets to express himself and he gets to make the games he wants to, and it seems like Konami really let him blossom into who he became, and he really strikes a chord with a lot of people. I know Dave loves him, but I remember when Dave and I were on a long work trip and Death Stranding was announced and he was excited about it, and that was the first time I really learned about Hideo Kojima. Well, I'm probably butchering his name, I'm sorry. But I didn't see it, but also I never played Metal Gear. I just, again, it's just one of those games that's not for me, but I'm happy he makes other people happy, if that makes any sense. Yeah,
man. Well, no, it's exciting. I'm kind of curious to see like if they change anything or if they just do like a 1-for-1 remaster, remaster.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the difference is, remaster or
remake.
Yeah, remake.
I think a remake would be like your Final Fantasy VII, right? Where they change it up, and then a remaster would be like your Thousand Year Door, right? Isn't that was like a 1-for-1?
Yeah, that one. So that one's kind of hard to, in my opinion, I feel like that one's a little bit harder to compare, only because of the graphic style. Like that type of game, you can go 100 years from now, and the graphics are still going to be decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because it's like a cartoon animation. Yeah.
That's why Wind Waker still looks good. I just played that like 6 months ago. I finished it up. It looks the same. It looks good.
Yeah. exactly.
I played that on GameCube too. You know, I didn't even do the HD. So,
I'm so curious to hear what your Majora's Mask thing is, but moving on.
yeah, well, we'll get into it. What else was there for Xbox that I cared about? Nothing really. I'm just pumped about Gears. Ah, damn it.
Well, and honestly, I guess I didn't really mention this, but I was kind of really happy that they announced that they were going to do Doom on PlayStation on all the consoles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool. I was glad because just like with what's another, I don't know, whatever other companies Xbox has kind of bought out now. It's kind of nice that Bethesda is still like, hey, I don't know if it's Bethesda or if it's id Software. If I had to imagine, it's probably Bethesda, but I hope to do
Yeah.
the same thing for like the legacy games like Wolfenstein, Doom, Elder Scrolls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that I feel like they'll lose a big market if they just make it Xbox only. But I could be wrong.
Yeah. That's one of those things, like, since it's Microsoft and they make most of their money off software on computers, it would I wouldn't be surprised if they made it like PC or like Windows and Xbox exclusive. However, I think they'd be losing a lot of money. That makes sense.
Yeah, that is to make it Windows exclusive. Yeah,
Right. I don't think they're in it for the long haul of selling hardware anymore. I think they've realized the console's so close to a PC. I don't really know what they're trying to do, but
yeah.
I don't know. All right, so games that they announced at the Xbox. I'm not going to say them all. I'm going to say just a few of these here. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, right? Talked about Doom, talked about Gears. Avowed. Do you care about Avowed? I don't.
I haven't heard that. No.
All right. Flight Simulator update. Badass, but I kind of fell off of that one. Age of Mythology, don't know what that is. Life is Strange, don't care. State of Decay, I haven't heard anybody who plays State of Decay. So, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This looks pretty cool. If I get Game Pass again, which I am not subscribed right now because I don't want to pay $18 and just waste it. I might check this one out. You know, it looks okay. It looks okay. Why did that just change? I'm sorry. I was looking at a list and my phone just went black, and then now I lost what I was looking at. All right. What else we got? Perfect Dark. Talk about that. South of Midnight. Don't give a shit. And Starfield DLC. Don't give a shit. All right. I think there was more, but I stopped caring.
For me, obviously, there's gonna be a lot of like not necessarily misses. But I'm not gonna have as much. I've never, for people that don't know me, like it's like I've never had an Xbox, and I was kind of like one of those dudes that was like, oh, Xbox sucks, blah blah. But obviously now it's like, what does it matter? You know?
Yeah,
like
it doesn't matter.
these games. Yeah. So.
Exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, a lot of the games that were announced, unless I had played them before or I knew about them, like Gears of War, that's one of those games that I am kind of curious about. Halo, not so much, only because I played a lot of it with like my cousin and some other friends growing up. So I knew what Halo was about. I appreciated Halo for what it was.
Yeah.
I just never bothered to buy an Xbox specifically for Halo. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of how I got off PC and went to console, was because of Halo. So I got you. All right. You want to talk about Sony's presentation?
Dude, I knew they had a state of play. I don't even. Obviously, I haven't even heard of anything like.
Okay, cool. I didn't watch it. I heard it was shit. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
Do they have any exclusives right now? I'm sure they got God of War DLC, right?
Well, no. Oh, this is really. there is something with God of War Ragnarok, but that might be like a PC port, like a trailer for a PC port, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's right. Maybe I'll finally play it.
There's an Alien.
Don't care.
There's Marvel Rivals, Until Dawn, which it's cool, but I'm not like Silent Hill 2. I don't know if you ever played the Silent Hill games. Nope. I never have. But...
Mikey, you know I can't do those. I can't even read a Goosebumps book. Come on now.
That's hilarious. That's one of those games because I know it's all though that's one of those games that's like it's a cult classic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And I'm kind of curious. I've never played them. I've seen movies and I've seen gameplay, but I've never played them. So I'm kind of, because did they remaster the first one? Or do you know?
No idea.
Okay. Well, if they did, and they did the second one, I probably would jump on it and just, me putting my ear to the ground for like gaming news is not as good as it once was. You know what I mean? Like I'm not really paying attention to gaming news as much as I used to.
Yeah.
So if I seem ignorant, that's probably why.
Oh, same. Like I don't. How do I put it? Can't even say I've been watching indie more. I'm more or less just been watching a couple of YouTubers when I have time and I feel like I want to watch something about video games. But my interest really, I think, since E3 is gone, it's not this big spectacle week-long thing where you get excited about. It's kind of gone. And the other thing of it too is I made a video on this was they're announcing games so far ahead of release that you get excited, but then you almost forget about the game. I don't know if it makes any sense. Like Elder Scrolls 6, what they announced that years ago. And nothing. Oh, the other thing to talk about at Xbox, they showed some Fable gameplay. I'm not interested in Fable, but they announced Fable a long time ago. And the guys who are excited about Fable, they have to wait a decade. Like your life changes so much in a decade. You know what I mean?
Did they really? When was that announced?
18, 19. Basically saying, "Hey, we're working on it."
That's like a slap in the face. You might as well not even say anything.
Right. And Nintendo does it right. They'll be like, "Hey, this is a game. It's coming out within a year." And if it doesn't come out, like Metroid Prime 4, and I know we're gonna get to, they tell you, "Hey, we're not happy with it. We're working on it, and we'll give you an update when we can." And then years go by, right? So you kind of forget about it. But they had intended on releasing that game at some point, but something went wrong with it. Anyways, my point is, they don't wait most of the time. Tears of the Kingdom's different, but they don't typically wait more than 6 months to announce and release a game, and that's the way it should be, in my humble, straight, white opinion, but not angry.
Not your black lesbian opinion.
My black lesbian potato glue or googly eyes glued to a potato opinion.
Oh, dude.
Anyways.
Well, so on that note, do you want to switch to Nintendo then?
Yeah, let's go to Nintendo. I got nothing to talk about Sony. If you guys are excited about Sony, I'm happy for you. There's nothing there for me now.
Yeah, honestly, there's really nothing there at that point, which I'm kind of surprised. Well, not really.
I'm surprised. Like, how many good games are there out? Let's bash both Xbox and Sony right now. This generation, the Series X and the PS5. How many legit good games are out for like first party games? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God of War, Spider-Man. Or Sony. Gran Turismo? No, I don't remember.
I think, Gran Turismo is a Sony one.
Right, but did that come out on PS5? Exclusive? Just on PS5?
I have no idea. I've never been into those games, but I'm sure someone out there probably would know that information. Yeah,
I'm just trying to put out games. But even God of War is Ragnarok is a PS4 game too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. My point is, there's nothing exclusive. So
Yeah, which who knows? I mean, maybe this year isn't the best year for it. Obviously. Well, I guess Helldivers, if you will. I don't think any. I think Helldivers 2 kind of took people by by storm or whatever, by
yeah,
force.
yeah.
Because I remember I was being told about it by several buddies, and I was like, you know what? I've been hearing a lot of good things, and it looks pretty entertaining, so I'll give it a go. And yeah, I played it, and I was like, dude, this actually really really is fun, and especially the composition, like the music that goes along with it. You're like, dude, I'm like pumped up, ready to
Right.
go kill some aliens.
Yeah, for democracy. Yeah, that game is wild.
Yeah.
That's for a
So
while at work. So I feel us were doing. We're just being super extra about everything, and we would play Helldivers at night too. It was good.
that's
It was like
hilarious.
a week long of that, but
So, well, okay. Nintendo, dude, there's a lot I can talk about.
yeah.
Not every single piece, but there's a lot.
All right, let's start with. I don't have a list, obviously, but I don't want to get to the heavy hitters just yet. But Mario Party, that game looked good. Was it Jamboree or something? A lot of crap.
Yeah.
A lot was packed into that one game. So I'm gonna have to buy that day one. I like it. My kids, this one. It's like the one game my whole family will sit down and play. Even Parker will watch us play, and we'll give him the controller and he'll try to play. But
That's cool.
But dude, Mario Party is our thing, and I'm pumped. There's another one coming out. So
Yeah, honestly, so I have never played it. I mean, so me and Peyton, or me and my wife, sorry, we got, we have the latest one, Mario Party Superstar, I want to say. And so we actually, on one of the weekends, I drove home for my work trip, and we ended up playing it. And I was like, it's pretty fun. So like, I mean, dude, if you guys would be, how many players can you have? Is it just 4?
4, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if you guys wanted to play, we can play online. But yeah, that's it's a game I don't play often. But me and her were actually kind of playing Monopoly before I left for my work trip.
Yeah.
The typical board game Monopoly, and so I was like, you know what, yeah, let's play that, and we had fun, and so yeah, this Jamboree thing, like, yeah, I think it'd be really cool to check out, and just have fun with that.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. Like, not super pumped, but I will probably pre-order that, and I am done pre-ordering non-Nintendo games. So
Cool.
what else did I see? Shit, I'm blanking. Do you want to talk about the Zelda game?
Well, here, this one's a smaller hitter, but
Okay.
it is funny. So the expansion pack games, I was actually really pumped about that because I was just telling my wife. Well, I don't think I was telling her, but I was like, man, I really wish that they would release Metroid Zero Mission
Yeah.
on the expansion pack.
Yeah.
And sure enough, here it is.
Yeah.
So, did you ever play Zero Mission, or did you ever have a Game Boy Advance?
No, I never did. No.
Okay. Well, that was a very cool. It was a remake of the first game, and so it was cool. It was fun. They remade it, but they also added like a few extra levels, and the music was really good, just like always. So like Metroid games, Metroid, Zelda, pretty much most of like the mainstream Nintendo games are their music is phenomenal. Like the composers that orchestrate those, like that score,
Yeah.
they're rock solid. Anyway, so I was super pumped that they brought that out, and then also another really good game was Four Swords, the Four Swords Adventure.
Yeah.
This one though, I played the GameCube version. I never played the Game Boy Advance version, so I think it's the same game. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But I know you could actually intermingle the two.
Yeah.
Did you ever look into that, I guess, or see that?
Yeah, I have Four Swords Adventure. Funny story. That game actually is fairly expensive right now, in the $75-$80 range on eBay, complete in box.
Oh, wow.
and I bought, maybe it's more than that, I forget, but I bought a disc only one on eBay, but I just, it was supposed to go for $70, right? But I just threw out a bid for $40 just to see what would happen. Just because, whatever, fuck it. It was a Monday morning or something at work, and I was just fucking around.
It's Monday morning.
Right. I just $40, see what happens. And then I forget about it. And I get an email. You won. I'm like, what did I win? And I open it up. Oh, fuck. I won a Zelda's Four Sword Adventure for $40 when it should have went for like 70. So I went to my wife and I go, hey, I accidentally bought a game. She goes, how do you do that? And I told her, and she goes, you're an idiot. Stop doing that. I'm like, well, I got an expensive game for cheap. So
Yeah.
But
what the original price was.
Yeah, I guess. But
or maybe, I guess it was $10 because I think they used to be $50.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I put the rest of it together for a CIB for that game, but I put it in, make sure it worked, and I haven't played it since. But that's one of the Zelda games I'll get to.
Yeah, there's so many Zelda games.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't blame you on that. And then those Zelda games, I guess I never, when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I never really progressed that far into those types of games, like because that was around the time like Link to the Past was out.
Mm-hmm.
I never progressed very far because your comprehension skill. There's a lot of reading.
Yeah.
A lot of reading.
Yep.
And so my comprehension and memory just was not there. So of course, like, oh, I got to remember what this guy said in this area during this phase of the game. Like no,
Yeah.
there's no way. So
yeah, for sure.
No, that's exciting. Luigi's Mansion. Did you ever play any of those games?
I bought 3 for my son Todd, and he says it's too hard. And again, I haven't got to it. I was meaning to play it over Halloween, but I think that's when I started Majora's Mask, and so I was like, well, Majora's Mask is a Halloween type game, so yeah. We'll see. I got so many games I got to get to. There's no way. If they stop making games today and never had another game come out, and I never bought another game, I wouldn't beat all the games that I have bought.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I feel that. There's a lot, man. There's a lot.
And I'm still buying them. Talk about a waste. God damn, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm happy you like the expansion pack stuff. I did like how they had Perfect Dark on there, and you can play online, so maybe one day I'll have to whip your ass. But
I would like that.
You want me to? Gross.
Yeah, dude. Well, so it's funny because I was telling my wife, I was like, I have a feeling that you would like. I've been telling her this, different game, but the same thing was said. I was telling her like, I have a feeling you would really like Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
And she was just because she was playing. It's a really popular game, Stardew Valley.
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, but I don't know, And so anyway, she ended up buying it, and she did. She loved it. She was like, it's a little bit slower paced than what I would prefer, but I do enjoy it. And so I ended up, I was telling her the same thing about Luigi's Mansion. I was like, I have a feeling that you would really, just because it's different. She likes kind of like the non-typical games.
Okay.
Fun, easy to play, not competitive. Most gamers I feel like are competitive. They enjoy playing competitively. Not all, of course, but
right.
Well, so anyway, so she's yet to play any of them. I can't even remember how I got the first one, but I ended up I obtained the first one somehow, and I was playing that one, and I played it all the way through, and it was pretty fun. It was different than your like average Mario type game, but it did keep me hooked, just to kind of finish the story and see what secrets there were, and so on and so forth. So now that they came out with like a Luigi's Mansion 2 remaster,
yeah,
I'm kind of like, I kind of want to pick up where I left off, and see if I can't play the second one to kind of continue my what is that 20-year playthrough of the first one.
Right. Yeah.
But
Those games look good. I'm into it. I have been collecting for the GameCube, and Luigi's Mansion is on my list that I still don't have. So I know it sounds dumb. You don't have to play these in order, but I would like to. So that's kind of my reasoning to hold off on Luigi's Mansion 3. And after I pick up 1, get through it, and maybe I'll pick up 2, and then obviously I already have 3. So I think I bought it at one of a sale that Nintendo was having around Halloween or something. So,
well, I think I don't know if Luigi's Mansion is one of those types of games, but there was actually a time when I was playing the Arkham games, the Batman, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
So I was on a work trip, and the buddy was like, "No, dude, you got to play them all in order." And I was like, "Okay," So I ended up there was a trilogy or whatever I bought, but I bought them all, and I'm so glad I listened to what he said, because it gets better each game that you go to.
Okay.
I don't know. Again, I don't know if Luigi's Mansion is like this. But,
I doubt it, but yeah.
Yeah, there was just Arkham Asylum, there was like the core game, which was fun, enjoyable, a lot of lore. Like I learned a lot of stuff about Batman that I never would have learned unless I played those games. And then the second one just built on what was already there. More gadgets, more mechanics, more tools and stuff like that. And the third one was just, over the top, like phenomenal. And I wouldn't have gotten that experience if I would have played 3-2-1 or 2-1-3 or 2-3-2, 2-3-1. You know what I mean? So maybe that's one of those games. It's better to play the first one. Like you said, doubt it, but
yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So, what else? There's have you ever played the Marvel vs. Capcom games?
No, but I did. But they had a whole collection, right?
Yeah. So I had played. I want to say I played 3 and 2, and then Marvel vs. Capcom, Power Gems, if I'm not mistaken. I'm probably messing the name up, but those games are really fun for me, just because to me it was like Did you ever watch like the '90s cartoons of X-Men and Spider-Man?
Yeah, brother. I'm a red-blooded American that grew up in the '90s. Come on.
I just gotta make sure, because not everyone's into them. But yeah, so those games played on those shows. Well, not necessarily the shows, obviously the comics, but the voices that went along with the shows. You know what I mean? That brought those comics to a bigger spotlight, a bigger audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to hear the same voice from the show into the game, the same voice of Wolverine, the same voice of Spider-Man, Cyclops. And so, yeah, that one, I don't know if I'll get right away, but I do want to get it because there's like 7 games in it. So I was like, dude, that's cool.
Yeah, I might get it. Todd's real big in the fighting games right now. Like, he likes Shredder's Revenge, and, well, he loves to smash. So...
Nice.
Just because it's kind of that aspect, right, of a fighting game. So
yeah.
And there's a lot, right? You said like 7 different games, so we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if he's good one day. And he's been getting into Spider-Man too, because I let him play Spider-Man on the PS4, and he enjoys that. So we'll see how we do. But yeah, like you, I'm not gonna buy it day one. I'll probably buy it if I see it on sale, like a 50% off or something.
Yeah, dude, unless it's like a game that I plan on playing for a few months, like Call of Duty is one of those games, then I'll buy, like right away or something. Most of the time I'm like, dude, there's like with the PlayStation Plus, there's just so many games that I'm that I have available to me, and I'm like, I don't need to buy anything because I can just pick up another random game off the subscription that I already have,
Yeah.
and I'll be busy for like another 3 months, and
Yeah.
pick up another game.
Yeah, for sure. You want to get those 2 heavy hitters?
Well, there's another. Let me see. I got one.
Go ahead.
This one's a smaller one. So, okay, you had mentioned Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
There's actually a lot of Nintendo stuff that I was.
Yeah, we can yeah. So I think I texted you and Dave this. I'm kind of bummed they don't have like a 3D DK game. Like,
Yeah, man.
like Donkey Kong 64. That's not on the expansion pack yet. Like, what are we doing? I know it's not a well-received game, but I don't know. I think it's due for another one. If Kirby can have a new 3D game, I think DK can have one. So
Yeah. Well, have you played the Returns? Donkey Kong Country Returns already?
Not all the way through, but probably like halfway. Like, it's the same as Tropical Freeze. I played that one all the way through, and
Okay.
I like it. Don't get me wrong; it's great. I don't think that needed to come out. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like they wasted their time on it, and I'm not gonna buy it because it doesn't look that much better. I mean, I guess you don't have to use the Wii controller,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm good. They're probably gonna sell it for $50 too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not buying it for 50.
Well, instead of them doing that, like, don't get me wrong, I think that could have been sure if they want to sell it for $40 to do like an HD remaster, sure. Am I gonna buy it? Probably not. Did you play the Super Nintendo games? I'm sure, right?
Yeah, DK, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And that was the cool part because it wasn't a one for one, but it was almost a one for one. And so the music, so they brought back again the music. David Wise, he composed the majority of 1, 2, and 3. I want to say all of 1 and 2, but then he composed the majority of 3. I'm sure someone can correct me if they know, but yeah, so that was what made, in my opinion, Donkey Kong Country Returns such an awesome game because they brought him back to remaster those tracks. They kept the same tracks from the first game, and even the levels were very similar to the first game.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you noticed that in your playthrough, but it
No.
was cool. And of course they changed some things, but then Tropical Freeze came out, and I was expecting like, hey, are they going to do stuff from Donkey Kong Country 2?
Yeah.
They didn't.
No. Yeah.
It was a completely different game, and I'm like, okay, it's fine that they do that. It just, to me, it wasn't as good as the Returns.
Right. Okay.
It was good. It just wasn't as good. But yeah. Okay.
What I'm kind of upset, like, I don't need a remake of the original Donkey Kongs because those still look good, and I can go back to the 16-bit and play them, and I think it looks fine. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
If anything, I actually prefer it like that. But instead of remaking a Wii game, which is kind of, and what you're saying is a spiritual successor to the original game, right? It's kind of what you're saying.
Yeah. Yep.
Why don't they just make a new 2D game like what they did with Tropical Freeze? You didn't really like it. I thought Tropical Freeze was pretty good. I'm not gonna say it was the best, but it made me feel like the DK 2D platformer was back.
Yeah.
On Switch, right? And I know it was a Wii U game, but everyone played it on Switch. Let's be real.
I played it on Wii U.
I kind of want. I like them to make a new one. You know what I mean? It's been, when did that come out? 17, 18. When it was released,
I think that was like 2015. I think
on Wii U, right? So okay, we can go even further back, right? Because Tropical Freeze was originally a Wii U game. It's been over almost 10 years since they put a new 2D DK game out.
Yeah.
And,
Which is kind of, he's one of the heavy hitters.
oh,
He's in Smash Brothers. He's in Super Mario Party.
yeah.
Mario Kart. Like he's one of the heavy hitters for Nintendo, and they haven't done him or Metroid. They haven't done justice. Metroid, they've gotten a lot more attention in the past couple years.
Yeah.
With some, obviously with like Metroid Dread and then now Metroid Prime 4.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they've kind of neglected him, and there's such a big audience for DK. So yeah, I agree. And now correction, I didn't mind Tropical Freeze. I just didn't think it was as good as Returns.
Okay.
I still enjoyed Tropical Freeze. I just was hoping, to me, there's some, which of course I don't know if there's like a canon or a lore to this, but probably in Donkey Kong 64. But I was really hoping that they would kind of bring back like the Kremlins.
Yeah.
Because that was like the traditional enemy, and it's been Donkey Kong's arch nemesis for a long time. You know what I mean? And
yeah, it's like the Koopas and Mario. They go together.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's fine. They're doing what they're doing, and okay.
I wouldn't doubt that maybe in the next couple of years we might do something from that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm not holding my breath, but if it comes out, I won't be surprised. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. But
yeah.
I will be super excited if a brand new Donkey Kong game comes out. 3D or 2D. I would prefer 3D. I know I'm a psychopath, but that's what I would like to see. A 3D DK game.
I mean, they could have something similar to like Super Mario, Super Mario World, or just Super Mario Odyssey.
That'd be great.
Super Mario 3D, whatever.
Oh, the Super Mario 3D World, where it's a little of both, like a smaller 3D world, and then attach it to like DK Returns. That's what they should have done.
Yeah, like that would be awesome, dude. Like,
yeah.
You know how many pre-orders they would get?
Bro, I would have pre-ordered it already.
Yeah, and it's funny because Nintendo, they just do not care about like the hype around what people want. They just do whatever they want.
Yeah, and I like it. I like them for that. I think that's the right attitude to have. Like, this is my company. I'm going to do with it what I damn well please.
Yeah.
But I wish I could have like an idea of what they're going to do next. Like, you never know what Nintendo's doing, and that's cool.
Yeah,
but I also hate it. But I don't know, man. I'm looking around my room at all the stuff I collect, and everything I really see is Nintendo stuff. I think it's all nostalgical stuff here, but I never really thought myself as a Nintendo guy, but shit, maybe I am.
Well, dude, 40 years of releasing video games and being ingrained in people's minds and their childhoods, like, dude, that's a big, they've made an impact on so many people, musicians, developer, all that stuff. So yeah, well, it's no wonder there's such a big like desire for gaming, because I think they said like the gaming industry is making more than like the movie industry.
Yeah, it's the largest industry in the world, or something like that.
And
it's crazy all the problems they're having. I don't want to get into it, but like, I would not want to be in the industry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In any way, even on YouTube, if I started making money here, it would not be my primary income ever. It's so hit and miss, flash in the pan, if you will.
Yeah, I feel that one. Well, so okay, I'm gonna save the biggest heavy hitter for last.
Okay.
But there's actually something. My heaviest hitter.
I wonder what that is, Mikey.
Exactly. Well, so there is, and since you said that you didn't have a Game Boy Advance, it kind of leads me, or tells me the answer to my next question about Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
I did. Yeah, it doesn't strike a chord with me. It looked cool. I know it's been like almost a 10-year hiatus on that too, but those games never really got me going. Those kind of the RPG games I can't get into. That's just me though. So are you getting them? Are you gonna pre-order it and all that?
I probably will. So, okay, the difference is, I would say typically with a typical RPG like Final Fantasy, and I'm just gonna stick strictly with like Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy VII recipe. You would go and explore, you would talk to people, you would fight, and then you go explore, talk to people, you fight, and it
Yeah.
would just be a loop. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So basing off of like that recipe, and don't get me wrong, like there's cutscenes, there's epic boss battles, and music, all that stuff. Totally get it. But I am so kind of touching chords on that Sea of Stars game. So spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't played, but so okay, the original game, The Messenger, was a 2D side scroller. You're playing as a ninja, you're throwing ninja stars, you're fighting, your music is awesome, it's upbeat, it's like fun. Combat is upbeat, it's fun, it's engaging. And then you get to see the stars. The level design is awesome, the music is awesome, just as awesome. The art style is awesome. The gameplay, to me, and this game has won awards and it's phenomenal. The story is phenomenal. But to me, I cannot see myself playing that game over and over and over again because of the combat. You know what I mean? Just again, it's one of those things, you fight, you're doing the same moves. Now, mind you, you unlock characters and you different combos, and of course, each battle is somewhat different.
Yeah.
To make it interesting, it's still an RPG, like a fighting style RPG. So, okay, that being said, the original Mario and Luigi, I think it was Super Saga, the first one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. Now, of course, I was a kid. Like 2004, I think it came out. So I was like 10 years old. Fun. It was really fun. The combat was fun. I didn't really. There was a want to like level up. Like you wanted to you wanted to level up so that way you can upgrade your, Mario and Luigi, and upgrade your health and all this other stuff. Your typical RPG stuff. But there was also like in-world. I guess it really was the same recipe as like Final Fantasy VII or all the other Final Fantasies. You kind of but there was like my Final Fantasy knowledge is not there, so if there is puzzles, forgive me in advance. But Mario and Luigi, they had puzzles that you would have to talk to certain people, you would have to do certain things, you would flip a switch to unlock a certain door in a different part of the level. And it was you still had to like problem solve.
Okay.
So it wasn't just talk, fight, repeat, or talk, explore, talk, and fight.
Gotcha.
It wasn't that on a repeat. It was a little. They threw some spice in there, if you will.
Yeah.
And so anyway, gauging from this trailer, it seemed like they kind of have the core recipe. You explore, I'm sure you talk, I'm sure you do puzzles, and then of course you fight. But it's the 3D aspect that they threw into it. Seems like they're going to throw some spice on the exploration. They're going to throw some spice on the puzzle aspect of the game. So to me, it looks, because I honestly played the first and the second one, but I think because I didn't have a 3DS, which is what they ended up going to, I didn't play. I want to say there was 4 games, and I probably didn't 4 or 5 games, and I probably didn't play. After the second game that came out, I didn't play much of them.
Yeah.
And I did get bored, because it was the explore, talk, fight thing. kind of over and over again. So anyway, this one looks interesting. It's been a while since I played them, so I'm kind of excited to see how it's going to be, and just the fact that they have almost reinvigorated the game, like the core game, you know. So we'll see.
Okay.
But thought about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
All that, and I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Doesn't that game? The idea that I don't know. I have no nostalgia for it, and again, I have so many games I have to get through. I can't throw a whole nother series on that. We're talking. How many games do they got? Like 5 or 6?
Let me see. Let me look at the.
And it's not like it's a super accessible game, you know. It's not like they put it out on their. I can't go on the Switch and buy any of them, right? Except for this one that's coming out. So.
Okay. Oh wow, there's actually 6.
Okay, 6 of them. I'm good.
Yeah, Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story, which I think that was the one that I played.
Okay.
Dream Team, Paper Jam, Superstar, something. But yeah, there's 6 of them. Which, if they brought them to like the expansion pack, I'd probably play them. You know
okay.
What I mean?
Yeah, if they did, I'd give it a rip. Why not?
Because that's the thing. Like, dude, as an adult, you're paying so many subscriptions.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, dude, I don't want to pay super extra to buy all these other games when I already have a subscription with this company. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, talking about subscriptions, I'm just gonna start buying the damn game. Like when Gears comes out, I'm just gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy physical. I know I don't normally do that, but I'm doing it. And then I don't know. I never play Gears Online anyhow, so let's do the campaign. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Side talk, but all right. What else you got for Nintendo?
I think that was the last I guess side piece. I kind of want to hear like your take on the main.
Okay, so you want to talk about Zelda, because I know you don't want to talk about Metroid yet.
Oh, dude, I kind of forgot about Zelda. Steve.
Bro, okay. So when they showed,
go ahead.
They showed Zelda, right? And then at first I'm like, is this a remake that I don't know about? Because you know it's in the Link's Awakening remake or remaster art style, and I really enjoyed that game. Didn't beat it, but I'm like 90% way. I just put it down. Anyways, I really liked the way it looked, and then when they showed you the gameplay and how you're Zelda and you can use the echoes, I think that's an awesome idea. You finally playing as Zelda, you know, a game that's been called Zelda, Legend of Zelda, and you're finally playing as her. I think that's awesome. It shows the creativity's there. And for once, I feel like they're giving us, or this is Nintendo, so I don't think they've ever felt like they're trying to be woke ever, because Nintendo, if this was Xbox or PlayStation or we'll say Disney, it would feel different. I'd be like, a little more suspect. But it being Nintendo, I feel like this was a general idea that they're like, hey, what can we do different and make a smaller Zelda title? And this is what they came up with. And I'm impressed. And I really want to give this a try. I might pre-order this one. Actually, you know what I am? I'm going to pre-order it. I've just decided right now. I might go do it when I get off here. But just the idea of it, of now you're playing as Zelda, and she has powers or whatever. She's going to get this staff or something, and she's going to be able to echo stuff. And it kind of be like, it seems like you can figure it out on your own, or there's different ways to solve a puzzle. There's not just the one way to solve the puzzle. There's going to be a different way to solve a puzzle. And that's kind of the thing I don't really like about Zelda games, is there's one way you got to be able to do this. And if you can't figure it out, well, then you're an idiot and you can't go any further. And that's kind of why I always put down the games, but it seems like there's different ways to get through the problems. And to me, that speaks to me. Like, I get to be creative in how I solve this. That's why I really like the original Assassin's Creed games, because you can assassinate the bad guy really any way you want. If you want to go in like emblazoned, okay, but you're gonna have to deal with the guards. But if you want to snoop around, then you got it. And I like that freedom, right? And they kind of took that away from you later on in Assassin's Creed, and so I put it down. And I feel like that's here now, and it looks like it. I obviously haven't played the game, but it looks like you have that freedom to solve the issue in any way you see fit, and I'm excited for that. So, how do you feel?
Yeah. No, it's I think that's gonna be cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen the trailer. I'm gonna get off. Well, when we get off, and I'll watch it,
Bro.
Because I honestly, and I didn't really pay attention too much to Oracle of Ages, or what was the same art style that you're just talking about?
Link's Awakening.
Oh yeah, Link's Awakening. I'm thinking of the Game Boy Advance games. Because those 3 games, I haven't played.
They're all on Switch.
Yeah, they are. It's one of the, same as you. I just haven't sat down to get into it, But that actually kind of piqued my interest, because now it kind of gives me like, oh, maybe I should go back and play
Sit here if you want.
Link's Awakening. Yeah, and that's another one. The Legend of Zelda: A Dark World, where it's like a Link to the Past kind of like, not remake, but
Link
like a
Between Worlds.
reimagining. Yeah, Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, I haven't played that one either yet. That's another one on my list.
Yeah, because there's been, I think, the 3DS titles, like a lot of those ones I've never played. Anyway, this one I'm gonna go watch the trailer, and of course that kind of piques my interest to go and play Link's Awakening, which I did want to. There was other games that I was playing, and I was like, if I get to it, I get to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it does look cool from what I've seen. Like the game, like I've seen articles about it. I just haven't watched the actual trailer. So that is cool that they're kind of switching up the recipe. As far as to me, it kind of reminds me of the like the Wind Waker decision, because dude, coming off of like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and then going to Wind Waker in like the chronological order of release,
yeah,
like the Zelda games, that was a big gamble, dude. Like they could have easily kept going for realism, but then again, we're talking about Nintendo.
Yeah.
They do what they want. So to me, it's kind of like them deciding to use Zelda as like the main character is it could be like the same progression as like Wind Waker, because when Wind Waker came out, a lot of people did not like that game because the art style, they were like, this, it's just weird.
Yeah, they thought it was for babies. Well, it was the whole E3 presentation. They showed a realistic trailer, right? And then they came out with Wind Waker. They kind of pissed people off doing that. So
yeah.
But everyone loves Wind Waker now, so.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it'll be exciting. I think I'll be, if I'm not playing something too, if I'm not too into whatever I'm playing at that time, it'll probably engage me to play Link's Awakening before I get into this one, because I'm sure it's probably going to be a sequel. But yeah, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I am actually excited to play as Zelda. I think that'd be pretty neat. So, and then I guess we get in the last game. Go ahead, Mikey. You talk about it.
Well, that one I actually wanted. That was the one that I wanted your opinion to see, because
Metroid.
You finished Metroid Prime Remaster, right?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
I put it down. I'm sorry. I disappointed you.
Is it like you just couldn't get back into it, or just walk away? Like
the same thing where every time I wanted to play, my son would want to take the controller or play 2-player, or if I wanted to stream it, I have to move the whole system into here and get it set up. Huge pain in my ass. And it's another one of those games where you can't just pick up and do 10-15 minutes. You have to find another save space or another save state, you know? And I don't have that time. I can't get to the next point, spend 2 hours getting in the next position, and trying to another 20 minutes before I can get off and save it. I kind of have to be on call all the time with the kids. So that's the only reason why I really haven't gotten through it. But,
yeah, no, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Well, so here, because I was expecting. Did you have any short opinions before I kind of go off onto my thing?
Yeah, I thought this was going to be Metroid Prime 2 Echoes remake, like they did the last one, because it looked exactly the same as the last remake, right?
Yep.
And I haven't gotten the Metroid Prime 2 because I haven't beat the first one, although I do have 2 and 3. And again, I want to play through it properly before I get the Metroid Prime 4. I thought it was going to be a remake, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because, you know, art style is whatever it is. It looks fine to me. But I thought Metroid Prime 4 would have looked better, you know?
Yeah.
And when I came across Metroid Prime 4, the first thing I thought, oh shit, Mikey's happy. But I didn't really like, meh, it's whatever.
Yeah.
So. It's cool. I'm happy for you guys. You've been waiting since what, 2017?
Yeah.
So
Well,
shit, close 10 years.
Yeah, that's another one of those games where it's like, cool. Well, so, and this is okay. Just looking at the trailer, for this game being okay, so I want to say 2 years into development, they decided to scrap what they had and go back to Retro Studios, which was the developer of the original Metroid Prime games.
Right.
And that's good. I'm glad they made that decision. And so, okay, even with that being said, so they had to start from the ground up. So it's been 3 or 4 years that they've been working on this game. We'll give them extra time. 4 years at the most, 3 years at the minimum. And that's it. 2 minutes of like a very generic Metroid Prime experience.
Yeah. I didn't seem like they had anything new.
Yeah, dude, it was like, okay, there's enemies, there's like a basic cutscene, you turn into a morph ball, there's a little bit of firing going on, you had your heads up display, and you scanned an enemy. And dude, that was like the majority of the gameplay. And I was like, that doesn't make me feel it to me it wasn't very impressive. You know, because I watched that trailer once and I was like, huh. And then I went to something else. You know what I mean? Now that it's kind of soaked in a little bit, I'm like, yeah, dude, it's a very basic, generic. That's like explaining Metroid Prime to a little kid.
Yeah.
Like what the trailer was, you know what I mean?
Well, I think they might have done that on purpose, just for the fact it's been so long since they've been able to show anything before that, like you said, before they went back to Retro Studios and start over again. It took them so long. I think they're just trying to give the consumer and people like you, like, hey, we're working on it, you know, that type of thing. Like, hey, it's getting close, so the wait's almost over. Because when was the last one released? That was what, 2006, 2007? So
I probably would say so. Let me double check that.
we're coming on almost 20 years.
Prime 3, which was 2007.
Okay,
we're about 3 years away from 20 years.
Yeah, so 17 years ago, and it's not even coming out till next year. So I mean, 18 years. So I had 18 years to get through this trilogy, and I'm waiting to the very end. But, I think they're just trying to be like, hey, it's on its way, guys. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's Nintendo. It's a first party game. It's not going to disappoint. So
Yeah.
if this was
'Cause,
Xbox or Sony, it would be a different case.
well, dude, it's one of those things where, again, there's millions of views on the like official soundtrack for all three games. Millions of views.
Yeah.
Um, and how much of like, dude, I've probably listened through. So as much as I played, because I played 1 and 2 way more than I played 3. I played 3. I played 3 a bunch. Don't get me wrong. I played that game multiple times, but 1 and 2 I probably played over and over and over again. I don't know how many times. But it's one of those things to where okay, you can go like I YouTubed Metroid Prime OST, and so from the very beginning of the game all the way until the end of the game, me knowing those games, I can listen to the soundtrack and relive those moments because the soundtrack was just so it was so memorable. You know what I mean? Like you remember each part just by listening to the soundtrack. Like, oh yeah, you were here when you heard this music, or you were here when you watched this cutscene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I was able to do that with all. I don't think I've actually gone back to listen to the third OST, the Metroid Prime 3 OST. But so what I'm getting at is I really hope that with the composition and the score with this gameplay, I hope it's phenomenal. You really can't screw up the core of the Metroid Prime recipe. Like you're first person, you're shooting, you lock onto a monster and you shoot them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The like the finesse, like the different types of weapons, the different types of enemies, and the surroundings and the level design. Like, sure, that's stuff where you can get creative, but the core of the game should not change that much. But the score, like I'm telling you, dude, like you can go back and listen to a game from 40 years ago, and the music, like if you're still enjoying the music from a game that's 40 years old, they did something right. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And so it's just one of those things. Like I'm hoping the gameplay. I hope the story makes sense. I hope obviously the graphics are probably going to be there. But the music, man, I really hope the music just knocks me out of the park. Because so Metroid Dread, did you ever play that one or no?
No, I've watched a little bit of it.
Okay. Well, that was a game to where, and that one I played a couple of times. I think I'm on my second playthrough, and I put it down. I haven't picked it back up. But that was one of those games to where like I actually enjoyed going back to play it, but not for the music. The music was very, in my opinion, very lackluster. It was just like ambience. A lot of it was just ambience. A lot of memorable parts on that game, but the music was just not up to par, in my opinion, for like a typical Metroid, Zelda, Kirby, Donkey Kong type game, or even Mario.
Yeah.
But the gameplay was fun. The environment's really fun. And so, yeah, I'm just really hoping that this fourth one, musically wise, knocks it out of the park.
Yeah, maybe we'll get Mick Gordon over there. Full circle.
Dude, that'd be cool.
Bro, can you imagine like Doom music going on? That'd be sick.
Doom Metroid.
Bro.
There's actually been like Reddit posts where Samus and Doom Guy like get married or something.
What?
So, dude, just look up Doom Guy and Samus.
No,
you're gonna laugh.
I don't need that on my internet search. Sorry.
I'm not gonna set you up like you set me up.
For what? What did I? No. I forgot what I set you up on, but we don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you have any closing statements or thoughts you want to put out before we go?
No, dude, that's pretty much it. That's all my my tangents that I have. Hope you guys enjoyed our ramblings, and send some input on what you guys want us to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That was a good time. Thanks, Mikey. And let's see who was in here. I know Zio said hi at the beginning, and angry straight white male, which I'm still convinced you're a gay lesbian black lady, but that's fine. Thanks for saying hi, sending your opinions and thoughts. And Dave, you have to make this up to us now. Pretty upset with you. I stayed up late for you, and here we go again. Another disappointment. But
exactly.
All right, man. Well, good talking to you, and yeah, I can't wait for these games. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
all right, I'll see y'all later.
Later.
All right, we're out.
Cool.